It is true, the trade is still scandalously stupid, but it becomes a scandal of an entirely different level if it isn't.
Griner is a man. Well, come on now, this is another conspiracy situation, but you see this picture, no shirt. It's apparently an old photo.
All the exposure that you gave me, my family, to get me home. I really appreciate it. That coverage was much needed.
Running that jail in Russia. She was running it.
And no, this ain't the topless pool videos that already hit the internet. This is something else, something way more explosive. Walsh claims this video shows it all, and if it's legit, it could blow up Griner's whole career and drag the WNBA, the NBA, and even the White House straight into the middle of a firestorm they can't walk away from.
We're immediately suspicious about the reasoning behind this decision. This was especially the case given the fact that other Americans like former Marine Paul Whelan, schoolteacher Mark Fogel, were left to languish in Russian labor camps while the basketball player was brought home.
Walsh has been side-eyeing this situation ever since Griner got swapped for Victor Bout. Yeah, the Merchant of Death. He's been saying from the jump that none of this made sense, and now he's calling this clip the proof he's been waiting to unleash. If he's for real, this ain't just about Griner anymore. It's about the entire system that shielded her from—
How have you found the resilience personally to be here with us?
You know, I'm no stranger to hard times, so. See, you cried and you made me cry.
The start. Everybody remembers how wild that prisoner swap was. Griner, a basketball star, got flown home before Paul Whelan, a US Marine still sitting in a Russian prison, and before Mark Fogel, an American teacher barely anyone talks about, and the US still gave up Victor Bout, one of the world's most dangerous arms dealers, just to get her back. Here's the moment that still has folks shaking their heads. The swap went down, and veterans and teachers got left behind, while Griner was welcomed home like a hero. That's the exact moment Walsh says things stopped adding up. On his show, he went off, claiming this wasn't about justice or strategy. It was about saving the WNBA's top star, no matter what it cost. He said losing Griner would have crushed the league, because she was the only name holding it together. According to him, the White House caved to keep the league's golden ticket safe, even with the backlash raining down. Walsh didn't hold back. He called out the Biden administration, saying that deal straight up never made sense. But now comes the twist. Walsh says this new footage is the piece that explains why Griner stayed protected through everything. He believes it shows the government wasn't just guarding a player, they were covering something way bigger. And let's not forget, even before this leak, Walsh had receipts. He's been calling out how the league treated Griner like she was made of glass. While other athletes got slammed for way less, Griner seemed untouchable. Sha'Carri Richardson got banned over cannabis. Serena Williams got dragged just for wearing a catsuit. WNBA players got slapped with fines over uniform code, and not even wild stuff, just shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Meanwhile, Griner took a knee during the anthem and still got the biggest marketing push in the league. She became the face of every sponsor campaign they could get their hands on. Walsh says this ain't just favoritism. He calls it full-on protection mode. The league knew she was their only shot at staying on the radar, even when drama surrounded her. He says they went all in to keep her untouchable, because if she fell, the whole thing might have collapsed with her. This ain't just gossip anymore, is it? This is turning into a full-blown crisis, and that's when it gets dangerous, because Matt Walsh holding on to that footage doesn't just put Brittney Griner in the crosshairs, it puts the entire WNBA on edge. Before we even get into how this might wreck her personal career, here's why the league is seriously sweating. Everybody knows it. Brittney is the WNBA right now, or at least she was, until Caitlin Clark started shifting the spotlight. For 2 years straight, the league's been building everything around Griner. The dramatic return from Russia, her tearful interviews, those high-profile White House appearances, and every single resilience promo they could squeeze out. She's been the face of every deal, every highlight, every redemption story. Just watch her crying on national TV, talking about strength and survival. That's the image the WNBA sold to fans. non-stop. But if she's exposed now, that entire image crashes down. It stops being inspiring and starts looking like a scam. And once fans feel duped, it ain't easy to win them back. They don't just forgive and forget. And here's where it spirals fast. If she's been playing in the women's league while not following gender eligibility rules, lawsuits are coming from every direction. Players who missed out on bonuses or lost big games against her, they'll want payback. Teams that got knocked out of the playoffs, they'll come swinging. And don't forget the brands, the ones that poured millions into marketing her story. If they feel misled, they'll want out fast. The new TV contracts the WNBA just locked in. Gone in a flash if sponsors pull the plug. But this isn't just about money. It's political now. The WNBA didn't just push Griner as a baller. They turned her into a movement. And who was standing right behind her the whole time? The White House. Yeah, the US government helped to bring her home and painted her as a symbol of strength. So, if this blows up, the backlash doesn't stop at the league. People will start pointing fingers at the government, saying they helped cover it all up, and that's when it hits the next level. Congressional hearings, media storms, non-stop culture war headlines. The WNBA will be dragged into a battle they cannot win. Need a reminder? Look at Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre back then, standing on that podium, backing Griner and praising how much the administration cared about her return. But now we get to the locker room drama. If that video is real, the players aren't just going to be surprised, they'll be furious. Some of them got injured, benched, or even cut while playing against Griner. Look at this clip. Rookie Sonia Citron nails a three, then boom. Griner, standing 6 feet 9 inches, barrels straight through her. Stuff like this is exactly why players might argue they were physically at risk. If it turns out league bosses knew and kept quiet, expect walkouts, boycotts, and stars demanding WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's resignation on the spot. The trust between players and the league would shatter. But here's the part that could burn the whole thing down: the cover-up. If Walsh really has that footage, fans will assume the league saw it first. And if Engelbert, or anyone at the top, buried it, that's not just bad PR, that's legal trouble. We're talking lawsuits, investigations, careers ruined. And once fans believe they were lied to about Brittney, every past controversy comes crawling back. The favoritism, the weird ref calls, even the Candace Parker payout rumors, it all gets dragged back into the light. The WNBA stops looking like a rising league and starts looking like a shady, rigged operation. And here's the twist nobody saw coming. What if Walsh isn't trying to expose Griner right now? What if he's holding this footage as leverage? That might be the only reason he's still keeping it in the vault. Look at the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese showdown, packed house, media swarming, fans going wild. If Matt Walsh waits for a moment like that to drop the footage, the league won't be able to hide from the fallout. It'll blow up everywhere. And just holding that clip, that alone builds pressure like a ticking bomb. It doesn't just stir drama, it could push others to speak up. Former league execs, retired players, even current stars who got shoved to the sidelines for Griner might finally feel bold enough to talk. Once folks know there's proof out there, one leak turns into a domino effect, a full-on takedown with no way to spin it clean. And the longer Walsh holds out, the worse it gets. If the league panics and starts fumbling, dropping weak statements, flooding ads with Griner again, or even trying to come after Walsh behind closed doors, boom, he just stacks more ammo. Then, if and when that footage does drop, every slip-up will make fans believe him even more. But wait, there's a theory making waves on TikTok and Reddit. Walsh might not even plan to release it at all, unless the right offer lands on his table. Yup, some people think he's sitting on it until he gets a payout, maybe a buyout deal to bury the video, or a controlled release through a major outlet. Just teasing it keeps his name trending, keeps the league sweating bullets, and keeps him safe from lawsuits. For now. And here's the part that really has folks nervous. He might be waiting for the perfect moment to strike. If Griner lands a massive new endorsement, or if the league ramps up her image again in some empowerment campaign, Walsh could drop that clip right after and torch the whole thing. If that happens, they can't call it old news. It would hit right when the spotlight's the brightest. That's why Walsh staying quiet is even scarier than him dropping the footage. Every single day he holds back, tension grows. Sponsors start sweating, players stay uneasy, and fans, they're picking apart every move the league makes like it's some kind of secret code. And remember, this all goes way beyond basketball. Griner didn't just get brought home because the WNBA asked nicely. This went all the way to the top. The US government stepped in. Not just local reps, people from the White House got involved. And they still left behind Paul Whelan, the Marine, and Mark Fogel, a teacher. Both are still locked up in Russia. And somehow, the US handed over Victor Bout, one of the most dangerous arms dealers on earth, to bring Griner home. Now here's Walsh again, throwing shade on the whole deal, saying there were Americans who'd been locked up way longer than Griner and still didn't make it out. And when you stack all that up, it's not hard to see why people are starting to say this deal was never just about justice. Something's not adding up. If DC ends up looking like they played a part in all this, then this ain't just about Brittney anymore. It becomes straight up proof that the people in power will bend rules, twist facts, and bury the truth just to protect the brand, even if that means lying to everybody. Right now, every piece of this, the league, the sponsors, even folks in Washington, they're all just sitting still, holding their breath. Matt Walsh hasn't posted the full footage, hasn't denied it's real either, hasn't said a single word, just cold silence. And with every day that silence drags out, the panic grows like wildfire. Because if he actually drops this clip, for real, it won't just be Brittney in the hot seat. The WNBA could go down in flames with her. The NBA might get dragged right into the middle of it. And the people in DC who signed off on that prisoner swap, they'll be dead center in the crosshairs. This whole thing has passed the if. Now it's about when. When will he drop it? And what else is he sitting on that nobody's seen yet? Because if Walsh isn't bluffing, if that footage is real, the second he hits post, it won't just be Brittney Griner watching her career get smoked. It could take down the WNBA, drag the NBA through the mud, and shake up the halls of power in Washington like we've never seen before. This story is only getting louder, and if the truth hits the light, it's gonna explode. So don't miss what comes next. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications, because when this bomb drops, you'll want front row seats.